Welcome back, everyone, to the channel. This is Decoding with Cody, and today is May 10th, 2026, and this is a live stream. Please leave me a thumbs up in the live stream chat if the volume is working. Let me get that sound check out of the way. Thank you guys for being here tonight or this afternoon, wherever you are in the world. I'll just wait for that sound check and then we'll get started. Coffee Girl, thank you for that thumbs up. Yeah, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. And happy Mother's Day to my mother as well. And actually, if you guys remember, I talked a lot about Mother's Day earlier this year. Today is Trump's mother's birthday. So it's Mother's Day just happens to fall on Trump's mother's birthday. So that's interesting. And so we might talk a little bit about that, but mainly going to focus on the hantavirus and more revelations that we got of patient zero. And we're going to talk about how this aligns with the angel of the bottomless pit theme that I was talking about last month, which was during April. I was talking about this theme. So yeah, we'll give it a few minutes to get some people in here and then we'll start as usual. But thank you to all the mothers for being here. Sojourn, Coffee Girl, Susan, hello. Maggie McCombs, hello to you. Let's see. And to everyone else who's watching and will be watching. So let me not forget to take these comments down. All right. So we got 60 so far. I'll give it another 30 seconds and then we'll jump into the slides. I guess I'll just start the preface. The first thing I would recommend is that you guys remember last month, April, was a big month of connections that I made about, let me just go to my videos from last month. You had, so let's see, last month a month ago, I made a video called Trump, Time is Running Out, Apollyon, Revelation 9/11. So there's an Apollyon video. Here's another one, The Destroyer is Here. That's about Apollyon. And then there's this one right here, A Profound Revelation of Apollyon. I did multiple videos last month about Apollyon. And little did I know, and remember, the reason I did these videos about Apollyon is because it was all tied to the Artemis launch. And little did we know that the Artemis launch launched on the same day as the Hondius. So they were running these two launches, and no one knew that the hantavirus was going to come break out on the MV Hondius. But again, this was happening. This was happening at the same time as the launch of Artemis 2. And again, think about it. A launch of Artemis 2, as above, so below. You have the rocket going to space. Now you have the ship going up, right? So the ship is ascending as well, this Hondius. I'm going to explain that. But again, April 1st, April Fool's Day. So April Fool's Day this year was a huge day. It had the Hondius and the Artemis launch. So how about that? And so, and also, even the day that the first death of the Hondius happened on April 11th, and April 11th, of course, is just one day. Let me just pull up the Artemis here. Artemis 2. If you spell it right. So Artemis 2 was, well, look at that, April 1st through April 11th. That's the exact dates from the launch of the Hondius to the first death on the ship. I mean, what's the odds of that? You know, they're giving us the same dates for the Hondius as they're giving us for Artemis. And remember, Artemis, if you look up the the Greek goddess Artemis, she's the equivalent of Diana, which also is interesting, but she is the sister of Apollo. Okay, so Apollo again, you got Apollyon, Apollo, and so all of this connects to Apollyon. Okay, and that's why last month we had so much Apollyon. I did so many videos about this. But yeah, let's get into the slides. So we got new news. This is kind of the story that we're going to break down here in this video. The patient zero, or the first patient, the first death of the first person to supposedly catch this hantavirus on this ship was Leo Schilperode. I don't know how to exactly say that. And he's Dutch, okay? And so there's a lot of different things we're going to talk about here, but look at his name, guys. Leo. And I mean, what a joke, okay? And I'm going to show you how much of a joke this really is of why this guy's named Leo, okay? But on top of that, he's Dutch, and that's also important. But he's not just named Leo, he's 70 years old. And that's also a huge joke. And yeah, someone in the chat mentions he has shill in his name. A shill, right? Yeah. That's funny, right? It has the shill in the name. But yeah, so you have Leo, 70 years old. He catches the hantavirus from a landfill as he's bird watching, okay? On March 27th, him and his wife were at a large landfill in Ushuaia, Argentina. And so we're going to talk about how the landfill fits in with the gematria. But I'm just setting up the story. We're going to get into the slides. But Ushuaia is known as the end of the world. You see this? Ushuaia's motto is end of the world, beginning of everything. So that's interesting. But yeah, you got a bird watcher at a landfill named Leo. And Leo is the sun in astrology. And Apollo, well, to go with what I was saying earlier about Artemis, Apollo is the god of the sun. So Leo is the sign of the sun. Apollo is the god of the sun. So you have this connection. And even he's known for riding chariots. And there's even a big theme going on right now with the UFO releases and chariots. But besides that, let's get into the slides. Now that I've kind of laid this out, if anyone has any extra information to share, please let me know in the chat. I'll kind of be trying to keep an eye on the chat. But what I really want to focus on is, again, this Apollyon. In the book of Revelation 9:11, you have this angel that comes from the bottomless pit. And again, this ship came from the bottom of the world and ascended and finally reached the passengers were finally able to get off at Tenerife. And we're going to talk about Tenerife and why that's interesting for a place to disembark, for this angel to come up, right? So please hit that like as we're getting started, guys, and let's get into the slides. Let's go. So first of all, Leo. I mean, we just got a new pope named Leo. All roads lead to Rome, right? And check out this. So patient zero is what they're calling Leo Schilperode, or however you say his name. They're calling him patient zero. And patient zero equals 149 and 58. Just like end of the world. Again, this is, he caught this virus at the end of the world in Ushuaia, okay? So Leo, but the big part here is it equals 149 and 58. So we just got a new Pope Leo, and his two most important dates to him are his birthday, 149, and his day of becoming Pope, 5/8. Wow, what a coincidence that they're calling this Leo patient zero, and that equals both the birthday of Pope Leo and the date he became Pope, 5/8. And notice that Pope Leo equals 58. He became Pope on 5/8, patient zero, 5/8. He replaced Pope Francis, which equals 58. But, it's really interesting that, all of this stuff kind of aligns with Pope Leo. And just wait till I show you this next slide that's coming up and just how perfect it is that this guy is 70 years old and his name is Leo. But here's what's interesting is we have a ship leaving from the bottomless pit, the bottom of the world, and it ascends. And the first time that a passenger dies is on April 11th. Now, April 11th is the Church of Satan founder's birthday, Anton LaVey. What a coincidence. On top of that, the guy is from the Netherlands, okay, the patient zero, Leo. Now, nether region or the netherworld is referred to as hell, underworld, or darkness and eternal suffering. So the country that he's from is telling you the netherworld, the underworld, the angel of the bottomless pit, okay? Now that we've already connected Leo to Pope Leo, these two Leos, check out how many days after Pope Leo's birthday this other Leo died. 6 months, 4 weeks, and 1 day, 641. Well, this is a number we talked about last month in connection to Apollyon. Apollyon sums to 641. This is a huge number connection to Apollyon, 641, and I don't think it's a coincidence that the date duration between Pope Leo and Leo, the victim here, is 641. Now, this ship ascended and lost its first passenger on Anton LaVey's birthday, but then it reached Ascension Island. So they're even telling you guys, they're wanting you to focus from the bottom and to ascend. What are the odds that the ship started at the bottom of the world, and it even reached Ascension Island? So ascending out of the bottom, okay? It's very clear what this is all about. Again, and he's from the Netherlands. Netherlands is the netherworld, the underworld. So here is your ascension. And again, this is happening in the same time that the rocket is supposedly, again, we don't believe this, but the Artemis 2 is supposedly reaching into space, right? The ascension of Artemis 2 is happening at the same time. As above, so below. You have a rocket in space going into space, and then you have a ship on Earth ascending, up the grid, right? But check this out. This might be a coincidence, but considering everything we're showing here, do you guys think this is a coincidence? Authorities now suspect that Leo Schilperode may have inhaled airborne particles contaminated by droplings from a long-tailed pygmy rice rats, which are known as carriers of the Andes strain of hantavirus. So all I did was take the two subjects of this article that I copied. I said long-tailed pygmy rice rats. That's where this supposedly came from. Long-tailed pygmy rice rats. That equals Andes strain of hantavirus. Look, this is what the article said, okay, which are known to be carriers of the Andes strain of hantavirus. But if you take these two phrases, long-tailed pygmy rice rats and Andes strains of hantavirus, look what it equals. It equals angel of the bottomless pit in 3 out of the 4 base ciphers. So let me know in the chat, guys. Let's get some chat participation. Do you guys think this is a coincidence? Do you think it's a coincidence that the Andes strain of hantavirus and the long-tailed pygmy rice rats are multiple cipher match to Angel of the Bottomless Pit? Considering what I just showed you about coming from the bottom, ascending, Netherlands, Netherworld, Apollyon connected with Pope Leo and this other Leo. But yeah, I mean, not a coincidence. I don't think. You guys can think that if you want, but again, when you get a 3 cipher match, it's very hard to think that's a coincidence. But we know that most of this, I mean, the gematria of these things could be a coincidence. It's more likely to. It could be, but the fact that the guy's name is Leo is not a coincidence, okay? And the fact that he's ascending from the bottomless pit, not a coincidence. Now, the last aspect we have to cover here about this map is after they ascended out of the bottomless pit, their final destination is Tenerife. And Tenerife is known as White Island or something like that, or White Mountain. Let me just pull up Tenerife meaning, because there's a few different meanings for this depending on who you ask. But Tenerife means White Mountain, okay? And White Mountain, think about it. Pope Leo was selected. Again, this is all about Pope Leo. The new pope is selected with white smoke. You guys get what I'm going at here? He ascended, right? So he's on the mountain. He's ascended to the mountain. He's the head of the Catholic Church. And he was selected using white smoke. Now, the name of Tenerife means White Mountain. Okay, again, Pope Leo elected with white smoke. Now he's at the peak of the Catholic Church. He's the head of the Catholic Church. So what a perfect place for them to deboard or to get off the ship. And the white horse, right, exactly. Remember how Pope Leo got the white horse? And actually, the word white is going to be a big word here, because notice how the word white equals 70. This is going to be the big number we're going to cover here in a minute. But notice how white equals 70 and the word horse equals 70. So both white and horse both have 70. But check this out. Not only is the name of Tenerife the White Mountain, it can also, by the old map makers in the 14th and 15th centuries, the map makers used to call it Hell Island. I mean, does that not make perfect sense, guys? The ship rises out of the bottom of the world, goes through Ascension Island, and reaches the mountain, which comes out of hell, the Hell Island. I mean, what? Like, how perfect is this to go with? Please hit those likes if you guys already haven't, if you guys find this any informative at all. But I mean, I don't think I'm reaching here. I mean, you have all the elements of an angel out of hell, okay? But think about it. This island is known for a volcano. And when a volcano erupts, it's like, something coming out of hell. Think about it. I'm really thinking we could get a volcano story, associated with this. But think about this. This is like something coming out of hell. This fire coming from the deep in earth, coming out of the top of this mountain. This is essentially what I'm getting at here. Now, again, we might get back to the volcano stuff in a little bit, but I really think that we could get a volcano story at some point. It is interesting. Somebody in this chat mentions Mount St. Helen. Well, one of the places they stopped at was St. Helena. So that kind of makes you think of St. Helen. In fact, it's St. Helena. They stopped at St. Helena on April 24th. Wait, they removed the body. So wait, they removed the body from the ship on April 24th on St. Helena. Wow. Okay. So that's something to think about. St. Helena. This also does connect to Washington State via Mr. William Gates. So we're going to talk about Washington State. Shout out to Jurassic and his 611. We're getting very close to that. So interestingly enough, 641, like Apollyon, is the 116th prime, like 611 kind of. But look at this. I told you the last island they reached when they deboarded is Tenerife, and Tenerife is the Hell Island or the White Mountain. But look, I told you this is all about Pope Leo. Look what the name of Tenerife equals. On May 10th, today, at 5:30 a.m. local time, the ship arrived in Grandilla Port at Tenerife and is going through the process of disembarking. Spain's health minister, Monica Garcia, described the planned disembarking procedure to prevent the hantavirus spreading as unprecedented. But look, Tenerife equals Pope Leo. I mean, and not just any number here. Pope Leo equals 250. Tenerife equals 250. The United States is getting ready to turn 250 years old. And again, Pope Leo is known for being the first pope from the United States. So, wow. I mean, what are the odds? After all that I just explained to you, the name of the island where they disembark is Pope Leo. It equals Pope Leo. And it has the 250, which again is the United States is coming up on the 250th anniversary, which they're going to be celebrating next month on Trump's birthday at the White House. Also, I was just talking about volcano, but look at how volcano equals 82. But look, let me just take away the other stuff that's kind of not associated. So we've already talked about Gene Hackman and how Gene Hackman and his wife had hantavirus. Gene Hackman equals 82. Well, Tenerife, the place where they're disembarking, equals 82. How perfect is it that Tenerife is the place where they choose to disembark? Look at the gematria of disembark, 82, like Tenerife. What? I mean, what are the odds, like out of all places that this story, they disembark, it's Tenerife. Now, Tenerife equals volcano. I was just talking about that. But look, it also equals COVID. Remember how the COVID pills had an 82 on them? The Merck pills? I don't know if you guys remember that from back during the COVID. There was a Merck pill and it had an 82 on it. It was for the COVID. But yeah, I mean, Tenerife, disembark, volcano. Again, this is associated with a volcano because the island is volcanic. Out of hell, right? But here's the main slide. Just this slide is if you guys want to share any slides to this video with anyone, please share this slide, okay? This, again, I don't think you need any more proof that the Roman Catholic Church is orchestrating these riddles to go along with the Bible, because again, as someone in the chat pointed out earlier, all roads really don't lead to Rome. They ultimately lead to the higher power of God. And the Catholic Church is just doing their best at imitating that or becoming their own Satan, I guess I should say more. That satanic energy is what they're filtering. But the point is, look at this next slide. So we already know that what's the odds that his name is Leo? But not only is his name Leo, the first victim or the first patient, he's 70. And how old is Pope Leo? He's 70. Okay, this is undeniable. What are the odds that his name would be Pope Leo and he would be 70, just like the Pope? Now, he received the hantavirus from a landfill, and landfill equals 70. The branch says Mount Ducono erupted, killing 3 people on May 8th. Ducono equals Ushuaia. Wow, great find. You see that, guys, in the chat? Wow, shout out to the branch. I guess he just retracted the message. I don't know, maybe he writes something wrong, but look at this. So let's just let me get to this slide, and then we'll look at that news story that the branch is putting in the chat. But anyway, Pope Leo, 70 years old. Leo Schilpold, the Dutch guy, he's 70. He gets the virus at a landfill, which equals 70. Now, Pope Leo is the head of the Vatican, which equals 70. Guys, they're literally telling you that the Vatican is a landfill, okay? I mean, they're literally comparing a landfill with the Vatican. The guy got the virus at a landfill, and it equals 70 like Vatican. Now, remember, Pope Leo replaced Pope Francis. And remember, Pope Leo's middle name is Francis, and Francis equals 70, like Vatican, like landfill. Now, this is where it gets so perfect. Pope Francis, who Pope Leo took over for, he was born in Argentina, which is where the virus was caught by this guy who's 70, and Pope Leo was born in the rat year. I mean, give me a thumbs up in the chat if you guys think this couldn't be more perfect. I mean, Pope Leo, born in the rat year. Or sorry, Pope Francis, born in the rat year in Argentina. The Pope Leo takes over, and now Leo gets a virus from Argentina, from a landfill, from a rat. It's just... this slide you should share with everyone, because how can anyone deny this? These are too many coincidences. You got the Leo, you got the 70, you got the rat, you got the Argentina. It all points to these two characters here. And not only that, but Ushuaia, Argentina equals 70. His last name, Schilperod, or however you say that, equals 70. And coronavirus equals 70. So the last pandemic, I'm going to show you how this connects to, and I'm not saying that this hantavirus will turn into a pandemic. I don't know that. In fact, I think it's less likely. It doesn't spread as easily, so they say, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, all these 70s are undeniable. And remember, I told you that this is also about the white horse, and you know how white and horse both equal 70. Shout out to Wes Skeptical, another YouTube channel. He's talked so much about the number 70. And it really is a big number. Now, interestingly enough, just last night, the AEW Wrestling held a show called Fairway to Hell. And isn't it interesting that they just held this show as I'm talking about this? The Queen of Netherlands is from Argentina. Are you kidding me? I didn't know that. Queen of Netherlands. The Queen, okay, I didn't know this, guys. Wow, the Queen of Netherlands was born in Buenos Aires, Argentina. I mean, what? I mean, wow. So now I got to look more into that, because there's a whole feminine riddle here. This is, of course, the queen. And even though a lot of people would argue maybe she's not even a woman, I don't know for sure, of course, but it doesn't matter. The feminine symbolism, right? So today, the day they're disembarking, is Mother's Day. And remember, this whole thing was connected to King Charles, and King Charles' mother died, but today is Mother's Day. Today is Trump's mother's birthday. So Trump's mother's birth, Marianne McLeod. Marianne McLeod Trump, born on May 10th. So today's her birthday. They're disembarking on Mother day. That's important because there's a huge feminine mother queen riddle here. But how many days is today after Trump was clipped in the ear? Look at this. Today is 666 days after Trump was clipped in the ear, and it's his mother's birthday, and it's Mother's Day today. And 666 days after that day when he got clipped. Okay? So watch for some news stories today. I'm not saying there'll be anything big, but there's going to definitely be something to give tribute to this. I guarantee it. Because this is a perfect alignment to happen on his mother's birthday, on Mother's Day with the 666. What day is more famous with Trump now than that day, that July 13th, 2024 shooting? Also, 666 days is 95 weeks, which is interesting because the queen equals 95. That's interesting. But also, the birthday of this Queen of Netherlands, her birthday is coming up on May 17th. She'll be 55. So yeah, thank you for letting me know about this. Let's just see what her name is Queen Maxima. Her name is Maxima. Wow. I didn't know we were still giving people the name Maxima in this day and age. Well, look at that. Her gematria is 126, and that was the day that that was the day that Ted Turner died, and then the virus was in the news. But look at this, 1953, guys. Her name equals her title that they give her is 1953. That's the year that Queen Elizabeth was coronated. So there's definitely something here. Queen Maxima even equals 123. That's a number we just talked about recently. Interesting. Her name, Queen Maxima, equals the guy who died from her country, supposedly from the virus. But yeah, I'll look more into that later, but that's a great addition. So going back to the 70s, all these 70s, Leo's 70 years old. It's clearly about Pope Leo, okay? But not just about Pope Leo, because Pope Leo is a representation of the satanic agenda, the Apollyon. All these people are part of that same energy, that same agenda. But, as people would say, that God is always in control over all of that, right? Even in the book of Job, God allows Job to be tested by the devil. So there's always in control of that. But at the end of the day, this is destiny playing out. But another guy I need to mention here is Mr. William. Just going to call him that for now. Mr. William was born in 1955, which means he was born the same year. He was born the same year as Pope Leo. And Pope Leo was born 1 month and 14 days before Mr. William Gates. And what day did this guy die? This Leo. He died on 1/14. He died on April 11th, 1/14. And don't forget, who else is more connected to this type of stuff that we're talking about than this guy? Remember? This also happened, the death of this guy, Leo, the Dutch guy, it happened 201 days before Bill Gates' birthday. Look at this. So he died April 11th. And Bill Gates' birthday, or William Gates' birthday, is 201 days. 201 days after the first death from this supposed hantavirus. And what does his name equal? Well, there it is. William Henry Gates, 201. 201 days before his birthday, this guy dies. And again, Pope Leo was born 1 month and 14 days before Bill, and that's the day he dies as well. Also, don't forget hantavirus equals 1229. That's the 201st prime number. And let's not forget about my last live stream about the 201. We already covered that. And the ship is named after a guy with the number 201, remember? Also, the name of this guy, look at this. I thought this was interesting. The name of this guy, the last name, Schildperud. His name means Shield Maker's Court. If you look it up, the meaning, that equals 201. So, I don't know. Is that a coincidence? And considering he died 201 days before William Gates' birthday, his name means Shield Maker's Court. I don't think so. Like, just look it up. I'll look it up for you so you guys can trust me what I'm saying here. If you just look up Schildperud, however you, again, I don't know if I'm saying that right. I apologize if I'm butchering that. Look, right here, the first definition you get is Shield Maker's Court, right? And then you type it in, and you get 201. And look at that. It equals, in multiple ciphers, 201, 258. I mean, that's a multiple cipher match. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's just really interesting how that aligns with that. I don't always do that where I take the meaning of the name and I decode it, but it certainly has to mean something. Also, this 258 is also number of the beast. And then check out the overlap of number of the beast and the name of this guy, the 174, right? So even Queen Maxima equals, and Hell Island. Remember, they're disembarking on Hell Island. So there you go. You got a lot of one. Also, New World Order 174. So yeah, I mean, that's interesting. Actually, Bill Gates even just turned 258 days old. If you look at his date measurement. Oh, actually, no, he hasn't turned that yet. Bill Gates is going to turn 258. Wow, on June 17th, guys. So this is a date to watch. On June 17th, William Henry will turn 25800. This is important, right? Because look at his name. You see that? 258. That's his name. And this is how old he'll be. So that's an important day for Mr. William. And of course, he'll be 70 still, to go with all the 70s we just talked about. Yeah, and Bill Gates is a third, right? He's known as the third. And we already talked about how when Turner died, Ted Turner, the other day, he was the third, and it was on King Charles III's third anniversary. 88 likes. Thank you, guys. Hit those likes if you guys haven't already, but I appreciate the 88 people who've already smashed that button. I appreciate it. But yeah, he is the third. So they love these thirds, right? King Charles III, William Henry Gates III. But this also connects us back to Seattle and, the Space Needle and the volcanoes near Seattle. Don't forget, Seattle equals 82. 82 is a number that we've talked about before in this stream. So something to think about. And remember, the first case of the COVID was in Seattle, or near Seattle. So that's also something to think about. Let's keep moving here, though. But this is what's crazy. Look how old Bill Gates was on the day that Leo Shilperu died. He was 25733 days. 25733 is the 2833 prime, and 2833 is the 411th prime. Guys, how astronomical is that? Bill Gates' age on 411 was 411. It broke down to 411. I mean, is that not pretty crazy? And I just told you it was 201 days before his birthday, which is the name of his gematria of his name. But yeah, on 411, his age broke down to that number. And that's the day that they decided to say that this Leo guy passed away. 411 means missing person, yeah. But I mean, I just thought that was astronomical, the odds of that in general. Oh, I forgot to even show this, but remember, I don't know why I put this so far into the slides, but remember, this Leo guy caught this virus at a landfill. And look at landfill. Landfill equals Vatican and Francis. Again, Francis, born in the year of the rat. Caught it from a rat in a landfill. And landfill is a super match to Francis and Vatican. But now we got to talk about the number of dishonesty, or the number of lies, right? The 113. This is the date of the COVID declaration. In most of the world, you write the date 11/3, right? 113. Now look at Pope Francis' account. He calls himself Franciscus. That equals 113. And remember, he was the Pope during the 113 COVID, right? 113. But look at the gematria of the C pandemic. It equals 113. But check this out. From Pope Francis's death to the death of Leo on the ship, 11 months and 3 weeks. Exactly, 11/3. The same number. Not only was it from Francis's death, 113, if you go from Pope Leo, his birthday, to the death of Leo, it was 11 months and 3 days. Oh, no. That's wrong, guys. Hold on. I'm wrong. Typo. Leo became Pope on 5/8. 5/8/2025. So now I fixed it. So from the day that Leo became Pope to the death of Leo, it was 11 months and 3 days. Again, this number that comes up a lot. And again, this is the number of dishonesty. In case you guys have never seen this, most people have already covered this. Zach Hubbard's covered this. Gematrinator. Many people have talked about this. But all these things equal 113. Mainstream, perjury, not true, not factual, dishonest, fiction, not honest, C pandemic, Franciscus. There's even more that equal 113, but we'll stop there for now. And as we continue, the 113 is the 30th prime number. Okay, so now this is even more crazy, because if you go from Pope Leo's birthday to the death of Leo Shilperu, it's 30 weeks. And again, 30 is the 11th. 113 is the 30th prime. So from Leo's birthday, it's 30 weeks. From his becoming Pope, it's 11 months and 3 days, which is the 30th prime. And from Francis's death, it's 11 months, 3 weeks. which again is the 30th prime. So how many times do we need to see that? I mean, it's pretty clear that they picked this day to announce as his death date. But now we need to talk about how this connects to the Bible. We already talked about how this connects to the angel of the bottomless pit. But on the day that Leo caught the virus, it was King James' death date. So King James died on March 27th, and Leo was in the landfill and caught the virus on March 27th. So on the day he died, King James. Now check this out. Patient zero, which is what they're calling him, equals Revelation 149:59. Of course, the book of Revelation is in the King James Bible. But on the day that he caught the virus, on King James' birthday, it was 10 days before the next blood moon. Blood moon, how it talks about blood moons in the book of Revelation. Trump's born on a blood moon. But the next blood moon is a long way away. But what's the odds that from this day, King James' death date, on the day he caught this virus, supposedly, it was 10 days, which is Revelation in Gematria. Revelation. But what makes it even more crazy is, interestingly, there's a connection between the number 792 and the number 1131. When you measure 792 days on the calendar, it comes out to be 113 weeks in one day. So if you do this measurement, these 2 days, these two things align, okay? But look at the gematria of these things. The ship, MV Hondius, equals 1131. And he caught this virus in Ushuaia, Argentina, which equals 792. Well, 792 is the gematria of King James. He caught this virus in Ushuaia, Argentina on King James' death anniversary, and then boarded the MV Hondius, which equals 1131. And again, when you measure 792 days, you get 1131 weeks. So that's pretty crazy. That is an interesting alignment, and I think very interesting. So this kind of connects King James to this riddle. But why I think we should be watching King James' birthday, which happens to be my birthday, is because I just told you he caught the virus on King James' death date, and 84 days later, interesting connection with Barack Obama maybe there, born on 8/4, 84 days after he catches the virus is the birthday of King James. Now look at the name of the guy we're talking about. Leo Schilperud equals 84. So 84 days after Leo catches the virus, his name equals 84. He catches it on King James' death date. That's King James' birthday. So June 19th, it is my birthday. I don't know. I'm not saying something will happen on that day, but it could be some sort of link to that day. But yeah, that's the end of the slides. Thank you guys for sticking around and watching that. For those of you just getting in, thank you for being here as well. Thank you for hitting those likes. Obama Presidential Center opening June 19th. Really? Wow, on my birthday, huh? Obama Presidential Center? What is that? What is that even? And I'm sorry for all the people who dropped stuff in the chat I missed. Wow, June 19th on my birthday. Look, construction started on Elvis's death date, the other king. August 16th, Elvis's death date, and it's going to open or complete on King James' birthday, my birthday. Wow. Thelema Golden? What is this? Well, I didn't know this was even happening, but Barack Obama Presidential Center. Remember, Barack Obama is connected to Apollyon. We've already established that in prior streams. You guys are going to have to go back and watch. Remember, Apollyon equals Barack Hussein Obama, okay? But look at this. It's got the 121, like Revelation, like Antichrist. Augusto Lazaro founded Ushuaia. He was born on June 11th, and his name equals 201. That's another great one in the chat from Maggie. Yeah, you guys are right. This is the best chat. I mean, you guys are literally the best chat. I love that you guys come in and you share all these great connections. Like, so many great connections always in the chat. But let me verify what Maggie said. We'll get back to. I'm not going to stay on here much longer, but we'll get back to this. But I got to look up this guy's name. Augusto Las. So this guy. This is the guy. He last was promoted, but his name supposedly equals 201. And he founded Ushuaia, the place where this started. Oh, wow. That is a great find, Maggie. Thank you so much. Look at that, guys. How about that? The guy who founded Ushuaia equals 201. I could just make a whole channel about this number. As Zach Hubbard always mentions, this is never ending. But yeah, I mean, a great addition to this. Augusto Lasare, however you say that. I'm probably horrible at pronouncing some of these names. In Vedic astrology, currently Ketu is in Leo, in Magha Nakshatra, and Magha animal is a rat. Wow. So right now, Vedic astrology, Ketu is in Leo, in Magha Nakshatra, and Magha is the animal, is the rat. Wow. That goes perfectly with what we were talking about. How Leo caught the virus from the rat. Pope Leo became the Pope after taking over for the rat. And remember, the guy who met with Pope Leo before, or Pope Francis before he died, was J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance is also born in the year of the rat. Let's just see what rat equals. Wow, rat has a lot of 42 gematria, 42 and 181, like the 42nd prime. So a lot of 42s with a rat. Doesn't Barack Obama equal? Barack Obama equals 181. So Barack Obama equals rat. Interesting. Wow. Now, Obama was not born in the year of the rat. At least I don't think so. What was Obama's birth? But yeah, that's interesting that he equals rat. Makes me think of that movie Ratatouille or whatever. 1961 Chinese zodiac. So ox. So Barack Obama was born in the ox year, but his name equals rat. So, But don't forget his full name, Barack Hussein Obama. As I've mentioned already many times, equals Apollyon. And look, Barack Hussein Obama, I forgot, but Barack Hussein Obama the second equals 181 here. So you got lots of 181s. But yeah, there you go. So Barack Hussein Obama II equals Apollyon, which I already connected the stream to, and Barack Obama equals rat, which I also connected this thing to, a rat. And again, Pope Leo's from Chicago, Barack Obama based out of Chicago. So you got that connection as well. Is there anything else you guys be talking more about the disclosure stuff as we get closer here? Also, it's going to be time to start talking about the World Cup soon. But recently, my viewers are down and my views are down. So hopefully, we can get some more attention back to the decoding streams. I notice. Yeah. But I mean, right now we're just trying to keep putting out good information. Hopefully, the people will come once the. It just seems like, even with these bigger. I'm not saying these were huge stories with this virus, or even the Trump shooting. It just seemed like it didn't really pull in a lot of attention. Not like the Charlie Kirk thing. I mean, what was it with the Charlie Kirk thing? Why did that bring in so much attention? Just makes you wonder how YouTube is filtering the traffic on, or how the internet is filtering the traffic, I guess, should we say. But thank you, The Branch. God bless you. Hope you are well, and hope everyone else in the chat is well. And thank you to all the people who added something to this. Again, the main takeaway from this stream, if you're just getting in, is the clear connection between Pope Leo and the first victim of the hantavirus and the number 70. It's all about the number 70 because they're all 70 years old, these two Leos. And don't forget, there is in the Bible, there is the prophecy of the 70 weeks. If you guys know what I'm talking about, I'm sure. We also need to look more. I need to look more into this. This Barack Obama Presidential Center. You are America. What does that even say on there? You are America? I can't really read that for some reason. Unencumbered? I'm going to have to find what that says. Maybe it says in here somewhere. I don't know. I'm not going to waste too much time looking for it right now, but the point is, thank you to The Branch for pointing this out, because this is really weird. What is this even for? And let's not forget, Obama's symbol is like the rising sun. It's on 19.3 acres. That kind of reminds me of the 44th prime number. Are you kidding me, guys? They're coding this so obviously. I mean, 19.3, right? 193. The 44th prime number, Obama. Mr. 44th president. His Obama presidential center's on 1.1, what is it? 19.3 acres? I mean, that just shows you that everything they write on these pages has got some sort of code to it. It's on the 87 meridian, the 41st, 41 and 87. All right, let me start wrapping this up. If you guys enjoyed the stream, make sure you hit that like button. I'm getting tired, but we will see what happens with this virus. I don't know if it's going to be anything, but certainly there's a lot of things in the world going on right now to keep an eye on. Maggie McComb says the Animals version of The House of the Rising Sun released on June 19th. Ah, that's amazing. Oh, we got to look into that. June 19th. Animals, House of the Rising Sun. Release date. June 19th, 1964. Well, that's interesting because Obama is opening his Rising Sun thing on that day. So that would be how many years later? I'm too tired to do that math in my head, to be honest. 62 years later. Wow, 744 months later, 62 years later, after the House of the Rising Sun. Let's see if there's a connection. The 744 is United States of America equals 744. Oh, look, you got the 114, 619. Guys, 114 is connected to the date 619. Look. 619, the date, is the 114th prime number. The name of the song equals 114. Rising Sun has that 113 gematria. Okay. This actually connects. Guys, the Rising Sun, the angel of the bottomless pit. Apollo, the sun. Apollyon, rising. The sun rising. Yeah, you can see how this kind of matches with all the stuff we already covered. Yeah, I mean, Rising Sun. The Rising Sun equals Barack Obama. So yeah, even the Rising Sun equals Barack Obama, Barack Hussein Obama. So it really does go back also to the Rising Sun, doesn't it? I mean, that's... And interestingly enough, that's kind of... This logo kind of reminds me of Ohio, the logo of Ohio. But yeah, the animals... 62, though. I'm trying to think about that 62. 62 years later. If anyone knows what anything more about this, I mean, I know the Queen is 62 is a huge number with the Queen. There's a lot I could say about 62. June 19th equals 666. Also, I forgot to tell you guys, but June 19th equals 70. You see that? And that's that number we've been talking about. So yeah, June 19th is a day to watch. Maybe the only thing that's happening on June 19th is they're going to be opening this Barack Obama Presidential Center. I mean, maybe that's what's going to happen. That's kind of the code. Yeah, it's a holiday now, Juneteenth. And Juneteenth equals revelation. Or no, it equals satanic. It equals Pope Francis. I don't know. We'll see, guys. We'll see what happens. But it also has the 113 connection. We'll see what happens. But thank you guys so much for, as always, showing up. Maggie says her name equals 70. Wow. Lots of 70s. Shout out to West Skeptical. He's a channel that, let me see if I can pull his channel up. He talks a lot about the number 70. So before I get off here, I might as well give him a shout out. This guy right here, and his handle is skeptical like this. He does a lot of videos on the number 70. So this decode kind of goes along with his stuff. He just did a video 14 hours ago, so make sure you guys go check that out. But yeah, make sure you guys check him out. Another great decoder. All right, so take care, everyone. Have a good night. And I thank you guys always for showing up and watching and being here with me. And we'll see what happens in the coming days, and I'll be back as usual with more decodes, I'm sure. But hopefully this will be the last one I have to do on the hantavirus, hopefully. All right, guys, have a great night. God bless you all, and we'll see you in the next video. Okay, take care.